Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Literary Mad Max, and it is time to pick my second to last TBR of the year. That feels crazy. I don't think that 2025 just started, but I'm not ready for it to end yet, regardless of the year that we've had. But I am excited to pick out my November books. It's kind of the last of my fall TBR that I want to get in here. I need to start reading some of my 25 and 2025 list. I think I'm only like halfway done with it, so I'm really going to crank that into gear, and there's some new releases that I am extremely excited for that are coming out. So we have a lot to get to. I have a lot that I want to put on my TBR. Let's see how the board treats me this time. First roll. That is a wild card. And we get a spinner wheel. Okay, I need everyone to be really nice about the number of tabs I have open and the number of books on my physical TBR. I also haven't updated this in a while, so we'll see if we'll just see what happens. So a Discovery of Witches is actually the most recent book that I finished, so we can remove that one and spin again. The Haunted. That's Darcy Coates, I think. Okay, I was thinking of The Haunted. The Haunted is by Bentley Little. This horrifying image. This is also going to be my first Bentley Little. And not that it'll affect my reading experience, but this was cut wrong. Julian and Claire and their 2 children have made the move to a bigger, nicer home in the city's historic district, but something isn't right. So it's a haunted house story. Pity no one warned them about the house. Now it's too late because the darkness at the bottom of the stairs is rising. Sounds creepy. It could be good. It could be really derivative. I'm excited to find out. Bentley Little has written a lot of horror, I think. Like, it has a lot. Usually, if a used store has a horror section, he'll be one. It's not Dean Koontz. He's not like Dean Koontz, but like a level below that. There's usually a lot of different ones, and the covers are usually pretty cool. Like, this is disgusting to look at, so I don't know if I'll be sick of horror by the time I get done with Goodreads Choice Awards, but hopefully I like this one. We'll find out. It'll be good to get a book off of my physical TBR at the very least. Okay, roll 2. 1. Okay, we get to do a chance card as well. Random shelf. We're recording from my phone because my camera died and I don't want to wait for it to charge so that we can film again. So how this is going to work is that we're going to pick from one of my 6 shelves, and then we're going to pick a shelf. Both of those are going to be done with random number generators, and then I get choosing rights. So if we have 1 through 6 and we generate, it's giving us a 3. So off of one of these shelves, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to change the max and do out of 8. And we got the 8th shelf, so now it's my pick. So there's not a super great way to show you what's down here, but this is the shelf, and I think I will be picking, let's do Night and Day. This is a collection that is edited by Ellen Datlow. There's a lot of good authors off of this. There's Rachel Harrison, Sophie White. Those are the 2 that I recognize. I'm excited to try more. And then Clay McLeod Chapman, Stephen Graham Jones, Eric LaRocca, Gemma Files, Josh Mallerman, Nathan Ballingrud. I'm excited to get to this. This was so thoughtfully sent to me by Saga, so I'm excited to see if I end up liking this. Like, the artwork is very cool. I think the flipbook thing that they're doing is also very fun. I don't know, anthologies are obviously a mixed bag, so there's a bunch of different authors with a bunch of different stories, but I think this one is getting pretty decent reviews all in all. And again, despite not being in a horror mood, I'm excited to try this one. 2. That's an ARC. My ARC pick is The King Must Die by Kemi Ashengiba. This comes out on November 4th. And on the back, it says, "My loyal servant Onanth, former ambassadors Juma and Kagiso Mekantai suffered a tragic accident this morning. My personal physician detected small amounts of poison in their bodies. Unfortunately, the chemical composition of the toxin is such that all traces of it will vanish by the time their corpses reach Etah. See that the daughter joins them." That sounds very good. I got to see Kemi Ashengiba earlier this year, just kind of talk, and they seem so interesting. I'm very excited to get to all of their books. I think this is their first fantasy or more fantasy forward book. I know they have a couple sci-fi situations that they've already published, but this is their first fantasy, so I'm really excited about it. One of my other friends has already started reading this and seems to really like it, or is at least very in shock of it. So I cannot wait to get to this one. I think it'll be really, really good. This is such low numbers. This is making me very nervous. And that is a chance. Yeah. An Instagram poll. So it's editing Madison clearly. And I need to update you on the Instagram poll. It's been live for 8 hours and 50% of it is towards one book out of 4, so I'm pretty sure that's what's going to win. So the top one was One for Your Enemy by Olivia Blake, then Goldfinch by Raven Kennedy, and then Sunbury Trials by Aiden Thomas. But what's winning? Another short story collection. I guess that's just what the board wants me to read this month, and I had tabbed it from when I thought I was going to read it. So I will be using those this time probably. And I got The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez. I'm very excited to check out from Mariana Enriquez for sure. The stories in here press into being the unspoken. Fetish, illness, the female body, the darkness of human history with bracing urgency. Written against a backdrop of contemporary Argentina and with a resounding tenderness toward those in pain and fear and in limbo, the collection is Mariana Enriquez at her most sophisticated and most chilling. So it's social commentary and horror in a short story collection. It does sound right up my alley. I have always loved this cover. I'm excited to get to it. It's also not super long. I think it'll be, you know, really easy to get through. And I know so many love Mariana Enriquez. I think what I'm most interested in is her novel, but I still am very excited to get to this. I think this is roll number 5, and we haven't made it halfway through the board. 4. Okay, I'm going to try pick something from Storygraph, but if Storygraph does not behave, I'm just taking it as a free space. Let's see what Storygraph has to offer. Some recommendations, okay. Similar users loved. Where did that Divine Rivals go? I would like to read that, actually. Ooh, okay. Definitely not out of my comfort zone. Let's go based on my recent reads. That's probably the better bet. Let's try fantasy. Oh, similar users have loved. Those 2 books didn't really look like for me though. Ooh, so I would read the Atlas 6. Let's grab that. So this book is about 6 magicians who have to keep history basically, and they are chosen out of like a very large group of people. I've heard really mixed opinions on the Atlas 6 and less great opinions on the entire trilogy as a whole, but some people seem to really like this first book. So I am hopeful that I also really like it. I love the indie original cover. I think that this is so good. I am not as big of a fan as the rest of the covers for sure. The candidates for this position are recruited by the mysterious Atlas Blakely. They are told they have 1 year to qualify for initiation, during which time they will be permitted preliminary access to the Society's archives and judged based on their contributions to various subjects of impossibility. This sounds both dark academia and trials. I like both of those things in theory. And I have really liked an Olivia Blake and really not cared for an Olivia Blake. So this will be the tiebreaker on if Olivia Blake is an author that I continue to pick up. No pressure to the Atlas 6. Oh my gosh, our guest. Excuse me, ma'am, but... Oh, stretch. No, this is actually a great place for you. Thank you. 3. Excuse me, just... A horror. Okay, so for a horror book, I wasn't really actually planning on picking up a lot of horror this month. I have my sights elsewhere, but there is an arc that I would like to get to that comes out in November, and it's I'll Make a Spectacle of You by Beatrice Winifred Eicher. This is a debut. It is from a relatively new imprint, so I'm very intrigued to see if I like this one. This is actually another secret society kind of book. It's about a grad student who is researching this beast, but it is a horror. I know for sure that it's a horror. It's not like dark academia or fantasy. So I think that it'll get bloody, which I'm really excited about. There's something in the woods that has its eyes on Zora, and Zora is our ambitious grad student. And I love folklore, so I think this should be a really good pick, especially for this time of year. Oh, and she's having like visions and stuff and just like struggling internally. I think that should be really, really good. It kind of sounds a little bit like the Starling House. Not crazy similar, but I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. No, it's fine. I'm sure the people just want to see you instead anyways. Okay. 2. Thank you. 1, 2. A fantasy. So for fantasy book, I will be continuing my way through this trilogy by Sar Al-Arifi. The second book is The Battle Drum. I really, really loved The Final Strife. It was so good, and I'm interested to see if I like it. The first book, we follow 2 different people, Scylla and Anor. Scylla is someone who has the good blood, but is pretending to not have the good blood in order to blend in with the people that she has surrounded herself with, and is addicted to this drug and has to get clean kind of forcefully so when Anor captures her so that Scylla can help coach her to win in these trials, and she's going to be a leader. Her mom is like queen or something similar, like a general of sorts, and they kind of find their way with each other eventually. It is so juicy, so good. And then this is book 2, and we left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger of book 1, not terrible, but I am really excited to get back to these characters. Murder, Secret, Sacrifice. 3 women seek the truth of the Empire's past, and the truth that they find will have the power to ignite a war. And it looks like they had to solve a murder that they are accused of but did not, you know, they didn't do it. So I'm very, very excited to get back into this world. I really, really like everything that Sar Al-Arifi has put out so far, even though it's different, because I have read Faebound, which is way more like classic romantasy, not world building at all like this, but I really like both of them. I think this may make it the most rolls that we've ever had. Not that roll specifically, just this run. A nonfiction. I'm actually okay with that. So I think I've picked this as my nonfiction pick before and also not gotten to it, but I'm going to get to it this time because Theodore C. Van Elst Jr. will be at the Portland Book Festival this month. So I want to get to this before he gets here and have him sign it and stuff. This is The L, and it is semi-autobiographical, so not entirely autobiographical. And this is from the co-editor of Never Whistle at Night, which I'm also hoping to put on the board this month. We'll see how nice the board is to me. But this follows a group of teenage gang members as they trek across Chicago to a momentous meeting inspired by the cult classic The Warriors. So it should be good. I love this cover. I think it's so good. Four. So I'm actually going to need the things that you're sitting on. Excuse me, I know. We got random color. Okay, and now we have our random color generator. Usually it gives you the color right when you click on the website, so I'm using it as my mulligan in case I don't like it. Oh. Okay. That's stone gray. I don't think I like it, so we're gonna generate another one. Oh, yellow. Traffic yellow. It's like more of a butter yellow on camera, but it's like a very... That's closer to what it is. So, I might go back and pick stone gray. Actually, I am going to keep stone gray. I want to read the horror Goodreads Choice Award picks, and there's just like no shot Never Flinch isn't going to be on there. So that's what I'm picking for this. If it miraculously is not in the Goodreads Choice Awards, it's not going to be the first book that I guess I haven't picked up from my TBRs, but I'm definitely going to be reading this month. This is a Holly Gibney book, so there's the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, and it's basically like PIs, and it's usually supernatural. And Holly is a character from the original trilogy, but she's had a bunch of spin-offs because people really like her, and she's a PI. The most recent one, Holly, like her book, it wasn't supernatural, but I'm imagining this one will be. And I have had a very like mixed bag of opinions on Stephen King recently. I definitely think he's off his rocker at this point, but I will be picking it up. I'm going to be picking up a bunch of books that I don't think that I'm going to like for the Goodreads Choice Awards, but that's just how it goes, I guess. And maybe I'll love it. Who knows? Maybe we should have a good attitude and just try. But we'll see if I end up enjoying this one or not. That's a great place for you. You should not be in the way for the rest of the time. 3. Okay. That's this one, so she doesn't have to move. Another spinner wheel. Okay, another spinner wheel. Let's see what we get. The Deep. I'm assuming The Deep by Nick Cutter. Deep by Nick Cutter is about, I think, a group of scientists that go below the surface and they're trying to do some kind of research thing to save the world. Like a plague has happened and that's why they're down there. But obviously things get very creepy and very awful. I have only read one Nick Cutter so far, and that was The Troop, and I liked it. It was gross. So I'm excited to see if I like this one. I think underwater horror and just like that kind of trapped containment type of situation is really effective for me because I really, really hate it. And I don't know what the ratings are on this, like comparatively to The Troop. The Troop is definitely his most popular one, but I love the cover on this. And I think that it's been on my TBR, probably one of the longest books out of all of the ones that I still have to read. So it's good to get it off my TBR. And we'll see how it goes. It's crazy that the wheel picked 2 horrors. Kind of uncalled for when I'm not in a horror mood anymore, but we'll persist. 3. A 5-star prediction. Okay, now we have a 5-star prediction, and this book isn't out yet, but it is coming out in November, and that's The Strength of the Few. I know everyone is excited about it. It is the sequel to The Will of the Many. The Will of the Many was about a boy who was a prince, but then his like kingdom and his parents died, and it's this world where you cede power, and the top of the pyramid, very powerful and takes power from all of the people below them on the pyramid. And he just went through these trials at a school where he was being a double agent at, and this big cliffhanger happened at the end of book 1. I cannot wait to get to The Strength of the Few, and nothing could stop me probably from reading that book this month. That absolutely will be getting read. I'm so excited for it. And I think people like The Will of the Many a little bit more than The Strength of the Few, just from like the early reviews that this book is getting, but I still think it's going to be phenomenal. And I think I'm a little bit more easily impressed than those people. So I think it's going to be great. I can't wait for it. And I can't wait to talk about it because it's one of those books that everyone is going to be picking up as soon as it comes out. So I can't wait to talk about it with people. That's one of the great things about talking about books on the internet is you have so many people to talk to about the books that you're reading, usually. Unless it's like very obscure or it's a secret for some reason. But this is very much not a secret, and I cannot wait to yap about it with people. I do think it would be kind of crazy if we got another roll, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Oh, perfect. Storygraph again. Okay, we have another pick from Storygraph, and honestly, I can't be bothered with it. This is not a good square. I really actually need to remember to replace it for next month because I'm over it. It's just not giving me what I needed to be giving me, so I'm going to be using it as a free space, and I will be picking up my book club's pick for the month of November, the horror book club that I run. This is Never Whistle at Night. I'm really surprised we picked an anthology, but I am excited about it. I've been meaning to get to this for a while now, and this is a dark fiction anthology, but I think that it is kind of like horror or like intended to be horror, and there's a lot of good authors in this. There's Rebecca Rowanhorse, Nick Medina, Tiffany Morris, Tommy Orange, Wabashig Rice. Like, there's just a lot of names that I recognize, and I'm excited to, it's kind of like a sampler platter of authors. I'm excited to get to it. I think that I would prefer an anthology over short story collection for the sake of trying a bunch of new authors. I'm not a super big short story person, but I do think this is gonna get a good way to kind of get a feel for how these authors write. So, and this cover, I do think that is really what sells this a lot of the time is the cover. The cover is so good, and I will report back on if it's any good or not. And it is Indigenous Peoples Month in November, so it is a great time to pick this up. Anyway, it's a great time to always pick up an Indigenous author's work. I'm especially really excited to see what Rebecca Roanhorse does because I've only read her fantasy trilogy. I'm excited to see what she does with dark fiction. We're up to 12, which is the most that we've ever gotten from the game. If this is a 1, it'll be 13. Ow. So it's not a 1, it's a 5. So we are done. We have escaped the graveyard. No thanks to you. Okay, that was my last book. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one, which will probably be a vlog. And I hope you have a great reading month. I hope you find a new 5-star favorite. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you think about them. If you haven't read any of them, leave me a frog emoji for Never Whistle at Night, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!